Chapter 5. What Exceptions? I am the story of what you think you see. Brian Katie, all war belongs on paper. The weekend event was deeper than I ever expected. Dr. Hewlin explained that everything you seek and everything you experience, everything, is inside you. If you want to change anything, you do it inside, not outside. The whole idea is total responsibility. There's no one to blame. It's all you. But what about when somebody gets raped? A person asked. Or what if there's a car accident? We're not responsible for all that, are we? Have you ever noticed that whenever you have a problem, you are there? He asked. It's all about 100% responsibility for everything, no exceptions. There's no loophole that lets you off the hook for something you don't like. You're responsible for all of it. All. Even when he worked at the mental hospital and he saw murderers and rapists, he took responsibility. He understood that they were acting from a memory or a program. To help them, he had to remove the memory. The only way to do that is by cleaning. This is what he meant when he said he never saw clients professionally in a therapeutic setting. He looked at their charts. As he did, he silently said to the divine, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And thank you. He was doing what he knew to do to help the patients return to a state of zero limits. As Dr. Hewlin did this within himself, the patients healed. Dr. Hewlin explained, simply put, Ho'oponopono means to make right or to rectify an error. Ho means cause in Hawaiian and Pono means perfection. According to the ancient Hawaiians, error arises from thoughts that were tainted by painful memories from the past. Ho'oponopono offers a way to release the energy of these painful thoughts or errors, which cause imbalance and disease. In short, Ho'oponopono is simply a problem solving process, but it's done entirely within yourself. This new and improved process was created by Morna, the beloved kahuna who taught her method to Dr. Hewlin in November 1982. Dr. Hewlin had heard of a miracle worker lecturing at hospitals, college, and even the United Nations. He met her, saw her heal his daughter of shingles, and left everything to study with her and learn her simplified healings method. Since Dr. Hewlin was also experiencing difficulties in his marriage at the time, he left his family as well. That's not too unusual. There's a long history of people leaving their families to study with a spiritual teacher. Dr. Hewlin wanted to learn Morna's method, but he didn't instantly accept her odd ways. He signed up for a workshop led by her and walked out after 3 hours. She was talking to spirits and sounded nuts, he said, so I left. He went back a week later, paid the tuition fee again, and tried to sit through another workshop with her. He still couldn't do it. Everything she taught seemed so crazy to his university trained mind that he again walked out of the seminar. I went back a third time, and this time I stayed for the entire weekend, he told me. I still thought she was crazy, but something about her spoke to my heart. I stayed with her until her transition in 1992. Morna's self directed inner method worked miracles, according to Dr. Hewlin and others. Her prayers somehow erased memories and programs just by saying it. I knew I wanted to learn that liturgy and would not rest until I knew it. Morna hinted at her method in an article she wrote for the book I Am a Winner. I have used the old system since age 2. I have revamped the process, yet it retains the essence of the ancient wisdom. Mabel Katz, in her little book, The Easiest Way, says Ho'oponopono is a process of forgiveness, repentance, and transformation. Every time we use any of its tools, we are taking 100% responsibility and asking for forgiveness, in brackets, for ourselves. We learn that everything that appears in our lives is only a projection of our programs. I wonder how Morna updated self-identity Ho'oponopono process differed from traditional Ho'oponopono. Dr. Hewlin explained it this way. Please see your screens for an image of comparison. Self-identity through Ho'oponopono in comparison to traditional Ho'oponopono. Problem solving is intrapersonal. In comparison, problem solving is interpersonal. Second, only you and I are involved. In comparison, a senior member meditates the problem solving session with all participants. Third, only you are physically present. In comparison, everyone involved in the problem must be physically present. Fourth, repentance to the eye. In comparison, each participant is required to repent to each other, with the senior member meditating so that participants don't get contentious. Fifth, forgiveness from the eye. In comparison, each participant is required to ask forgiveness of each of the other participants. In traditional Ho'oponopono, the senior member trained in the dynamics of problem solving is responsible to see that everyone gets a chance to say what each sees as the problem. This is always an area of contention in the traditional Ho'oponopono because each participant sees the problem differently. I have to admit, I like the new and improved process, as it all happens within the person. You don't need anyone else at all. This makes more sense to me, since I'm a student of the Jungian based teachers such as best selling author Debbie Ford, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. I already understood that the place for change is within you, not the environment or any other person. Along with the updated Ho'oponopono process, Dr. Hewlin continued. Morna was guided to include the three parts of the self, which are the key to self identity. These three parts, which exist in every molecule of reality, are called Unihipili, child consciousness, the Yuhani, mother consciousness, and Aumakua, father consciousness. When this inner family is in alignment, a person is in rhythm with the divinity. With this balance, life begins to flow. Thus, Ho'oponopono helps restore balance in the individual first and then in all creation. He went to explain more about this amazing process. Ho'oponopono is really very simple. For the ancient Hawaiians, all problems begin at thought. But having a thought is not the problem. So, what's the problem? The problem is that all our thoughts are imbued with painful memories, memories of persons, places, or things. The intellect working alone can't solve these problems because the intellect only manages. Managing things is no way to solve problems. You want to let them go. When you do Ho'oponopono, what happens is that the divinity takes the painful thought and neutralizes or purifies it. You don't purify the person, place, or thing. You neutralize the energy you associate with that person, place, or thing. So the first stage of Ho'oponopono is the purification of that energy. Now something wonderful happens. Not only does that energy get neutralized, it also gets released. So there's a brand new slate. Buddhists call it the void. The final step is that you allow the divinity to come in and fill the void with light. To do Ho'oponopono, you don't have to know what the problem or error is. All you have to do is notice any problem you are experiencing physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. Once you notice, your responsibility is to immediately begin to clean, to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. As I research Morna, even finding DVDs of interviews with her, I finally found the prayer she would say to heal people, whether she saw them or not. The liturgy she said went like this: Divine Creator, Father, Mother, Son, as one. If I, my family, relatives and ancestors have offended you, your family, relatives and ancestors, in thoughts, words, deeds, and actions, from the beginning of our creation to the present. We ask your forgiveness. Let this cleanse, purify, release, cut all the negative memories, blocks, energies, and vibrations, and transmute these unwanted energies to pure light. And it is done. I wasn't sure how this unlocked the healing within someone, but I could see that it was based on forgiveness. Apparently, Mona and now Dr. Hewlin felt that by asking for forgiveness, we cleared the path for healing to be manifest. What was blocking our well being was nothing more than lack of love. Forgiveness opened the door to allow it back in. I found all of this fascinating. I wasn't sure how doing Ho'oponopono could help heal me, you, or the mentally ill. However,
But I kept listening. Dr. Hewlin went on to explain that we have to take 100% responsibility for our lives. No exceptions, no excuses, no loopholes. Can you imagine? If we all knew we are 100% responsible, he asked. I made a deal with myself 10 years ago that I would treat myself to a hot fudge sundae, so huge it would make me sick, if I could get through the day without having some judgment of someone. I've never been able to do it. I notice I catch myself more often, but I never get through a day. Well, now I knew he was human. I could relate to his confession. As much work as I've done on myself, I still get rattled by people or situations that I wish would be different. I'm far more able to tolerate most things that come my way in life. But I'm also far from being totally loving in every situation. But how do I get that across to people? That we are each 100% responsible for problems, he asked. If you want to solve a problem, work on yourself. If the problem is with another person, for example, just ask yourself, what's going on in me that's causing this person to bug me? People only show up in your life to bug you. If you know that, you can elevate any situation. How? It's simple. I'm sorry for whatever's going on. Please forgive me. He went on to explain that if you are a massage therapist or a chiropractor and someone comes to you with back pain, the question to ask is, what's going on inside of me that shows up as this person's back pain? This is a head spinning new way of looking at life itself. It probably explains in part how Dr. Hewlin was able to heal all those mentally ill criminals. He didn't work on them, he worked on himself. He went to explain that at heart we are all pure, with no programs or memories or even inspirations. That's the zero state. There are zero limits there. But as we live, we catch programs and memories, much like some people catch a cold. We aren't bad when we catch a cold, but we have to do whatever it takes to clean it. Programs are the same. We catch them. When we see a program in another, we have it too. The way out is to clean. Dr. Hewlin said, there is a way out of problems and disease for any individual willing to be 100% responsible. In the ancient Hawaiian healing process of Ho'oponopono, the individual petitions love to rectify errors within him. You say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me for whatever is going on inside of me that manifests as the problem. Love's responsibility then is to transmute the errors within him that manifest as the problem. He added, Ho'oponopono sees each problem not as an ordeal but as an opportunity. Problems are just replayed memories of the past, showing up to give us one more chance to see with the eyes of love and to act from inspiration. Again, I'm forbidden to share the intimate details of the workshop. I'm serious. I had to sign a non disclosure agreement. Mostly it was to protect the privacy of the attendees. But I can tell you this, it is about taking full responsibility. I know you've heard that before, so have I, but you've never taken it to the all encompassing extent taught in the workshop. Complete responsibility means accepting it all, even the people who enter your life and their problems. Because their problems are your problems. They are in your life. And if you take full responsibility for your life, then you have to take full responsibility for what they are experiencing too. In brackets, reread that. I dare you. This is a head wrapping, mind opening, brain cramping concept. To live it is to transform your life as never before. But to even grasp the idea of 100% responsibility is beyond what most of us are ready to do, let alone accept. But once you accept it, the next question is how to transform yourself so the rest of the world changes too. The only sure way is with I love you. That's the core that unlocks the healing. But you use it on you, not on others. The problem is your problem. Remember. So working on them won't help you. They don't need healing. You do. You have to heal yourself. You are the source of all the experiences. That's the essence of the modernized Ho'oponopono process. Go ahead and chew on that for a while. While you are doing so, I will keep saying, I love you. One of the key points from this weekend workshop is that you are acting from either memory or inspiration. Memory is thinking, inspiration is allowing. Most of us, by far, are living out of memories. We're unconscious to them because we are basically unconscious, period.
In this way of viewing the world, the divine sends a message down from above into your mind. But if memories are paving, which they almost always are, you won't hear the inspiration, let alone act on it. As a result, divinity doesn't get a word in. You're too busy with the noise going on in your head to hear it. Dr. Hewlin drew a few illustrations to clarify his points. See the state of void diagram. Please see your screen. One was a triangle. He said that was you, the individual. At the core, there is nothing but divinity. That's the zero state, where there are zero limits. From divinity, you will receive inspiration. And inspiration is from the divine, but a memory is a program in the collective unconscious of humankind. A program is like a belief, a programming that we share with others when we notice it in others. Our challenge is to clear all the programs so we are back at the zero state where the inspiration can come. Dr. Hewlin spent a lot of time explaining that memories are shared. When you spot something in another that you don't like, you have it in you as well. Your job is to clean it. As you do, it will leave the other person as well. Actually, it will eventually leave the world. One of the most insistent programs in the world is women's hatred of men, Dr. Hewlin announced. I keep cleaning, and it's like pulling weeds in a giant field of weeds. Each weed is a leg of the program. There is a deep seated hatred of men on the part of women. We must love it to let it go. I didn't quite understand all of this. It seemed like yet another model or map of the world. Every psychologist, philosopher, and religion has one. I'm interested in this one because it appears it can heal the entire planet. After all, if Dr. Hewlin can heal an entire world of mentally ill criminals, what else is possible? But Dr. Hewlin pointed out that Ho'oponopono is not easy. It takes commitment. This is not a McDonald's approach to life, he said. This is not a fast food drive up window where you instantly get your order. God is not an order taker. It takes constant focus on cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. He told stories of people who used the cleaning method to do what others might think impossible. One story was about a NASA engineer who came to him because of a problem with one of their rockets. Since she came to me, I assume I was a part of the problem, Dr. Hewlin explained. So I cleaned. I said I'm sorry to the rocket. Later, when the engineer returned, she explained that the rocket somehow corrected itself in flight. Did doing Hopono influence the rocket? Dr. Hewlin and the engineer think so. I spoke to the engineer and she said it was impossible for the rocket to correct itself. Something else had to happen that was in the nature of a miracle. For her, it was doing the cleaning with Dr. Hewlin's help. I can't say I bought this story, but I also have to admit I don't have any other explanation for it. One man came up to me during a break at the event and said, there's a famous internet marketer who has the same name as you. I didn't know whether he was kidding, so I asked, really? Yes, he's written a lot of books and writes on spiritual marketing and hypnotic writing. He's a cool guy. That's me, I said. The gentleman seemed very embarrassed. Mark Ryan had heard the entire conversation and thought it was humorous. It didn't matter if people knew my celebrity status online or not, as I was getting known in the room itself. Dr. Hewlin called on me so many times during the event that people thought he was singling me out. One person asked, are you related to Dr. Hewlin? I said no, and asked why the person thought I might be. I don't know, it just seems like he is focusing on you. I never felt singled out in a negative way. I liked the attention and assumed it was to help me personally. Since Dr. Hewlin knew I wrote books and had a following on the internet, I'm sure a part of him knew that if I got the message of healing, I'd be able to help many people. I didn't know at the time that he, being inspired by the divine, was grooming me to become a guru, but not a guru to the world, a guru to myself.